Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're tackling a massive, honestly pretty frustrating mystery. Why your objectively amazing, perfectly optimized website might be completely invisible to search engines. We are pulling back the curtain on the hidden SEO secret of mastering your crawlability.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the hidden problem, the Googlebot journey, the sitemap blueprint, maximizing crawl budget, the internal network, and finally, the anatomy of a perfect sitemap. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The hidden problem, or why great content just disappears. Imagine this scenario, and we've all been there, right? You build an incredible website. You spend literal weeks writing deeply researched, high-quality content. Your design is totally flawless, your keywords are mapped out, and your on-page SEO, well, it feels perfectly dialed in. You hit publish, sit back, and wait for the traffic to just roll in. You've invested real time into building something genuinely valuable. But instead, you walk right into a digital crime scene. On one hand, you have all that brilliant design, but on the other, fast forward a few weeks and you're staring at zero traffic, zero rankings, and absolute invisibility. Google hasn't even indexed half your pages. Your best revenue-generating content is just sitting in the dark, and your carefully crafted user experience is essentially a ghost town.
So what exactly is going wrong here? I'll tell you. The culprit isn't your content at all. It's an invisible technical foundation called crawlability, and the secret weapon to fix it is your XML sitemap. Because look, if your site isn't highly crawlable, having the best article in the world literally doesn't matter. Let's fix this foundation.
Which brings us to Section 2, the Googlebot journey, and how search engines actually find you. Here is the harsh truth. Most website owners obsess entirely over Step 4. We just want to rank, right? But before Google can ever rank you, it has to successfully complete Step 1, which is discovery. Googlebots travel the web, constantly eating up data. First they crawl, then they analyze, and then they store you in their massive database. But if you fail at Step 1, you don't exist. You simply cannot rank if the search engine doesn't even know you're there.
Think of your website like a huge, sprawling metropolis. Just like tourists getting hopelessly lost in a massive city without a physical map, Googlebots get completely lost on a complex website without a well-organized XML sitemap. The sitemap tells search engines exactly where your VIP pages live, instead of forcing these automated bots to just stumble around blindly, hoping they eventually bump into your most important content.
All right, Section 3, the sitemap blueprint. What you really need to include and what to exclude. First off, let's tear down the dangerous myth that you should just dump every single URL your website generates into your sitemap. Please don't do this. Your sitemap is an exclusive VIP list. It should strictly contain pages that actually drive value and deserve to be indexed. We're talking about unique content, returning a crisp, healthy 200 OK status. And they need to be entirely accessible, so absolutely no index tags or robots.txt blocks here.
On the flip side, throwing dead weight into your sitemap, things like 404 errors, endless redirect chains, login screens, or dynamic search pages, is basically like inviting gatecrashers to that VIP party. It completely wastes Google's time. Every minute a bot spends looking at your thank you pages is a minute it's not crawling your flagship products. A curated, clean sitemap forces the algorithm to focus only on your money pages.
Now, if you're managing thousands of pages, don't just create one giant monolithic file. That's a mess. Smartly split your URLs up into specialized categories: blog, product, services, image, and video sitemaps. Not only does this keep your site architecture organized, but it makes spotting indexation errors in Google Search Console incredibly easy. If your products suddenly drop out of the index, having a dedicated product sitemap lets you pinpoint the exact source of the failure in seconds.
And a quick word on the last modified date attached to these URLs. Always be painfully honest here. This date tells Google when it actually needs to come back and recrawl a genuinely updated page. If you try to game the system by faking this date every single day just to force a crawl, yeah, Google's bots will catch on fast. They'll flag you as unreliable, stop trusting your roadmap altogether, and completely devastate your crawl efficiency.
Moving on to Section 4, maximizing crawl budget, or your daily allowance.
This brings us to a really fascinating technical reality. Google does not have unlimited time for you. It operates on a strict crawl budget, which is basically a daily allowance of computing power assigned to your specific domain. If you offer up 500 clean, optimized, highly relevant pages,
they'll get crawled rapidly. But if you bloat your site with 50,000 junk URLs from messy tags or filters, you will completely drain the bot's battery before it ever reaches your top-tier content. Section 5. The Internal Network. Why sitemaps just aren't enough on their own.
Even with a flawless XML sitemap, your job isn't quite done. You manually have to prove to Google exactly how your brilliant content connects contextually. Notice how a bot should naturally click deeper into a site's architecture, stepping logically from the homepage, down into broad solutions, expanding into manufacturing ERPs, and finally drilling down into highly targeted niches like inventory management. Guiding a crawler through this specific pathway builds massive topical authority.
If you ignore this internal network, you create the dreaded orphan page. This is a URL sitting happily in your sitemap, but utterly disconnected from your website's actual internal linking structure. If you haven't bothered to link to it internally, Google's algorithm assumes the page is completely worthless and just ignores it. The golden rule here? Every single valuable page on your domain needs at least one strong, relevant internal link pointing right to it.
All right, Section 6. Anatomy of a perfect sitemap. Let's look at the final master plan.
Let's bring this all together. The perfect sitemap is beautifully simple but wildly powerful. By serving only your highest value pages, you instantly maximize your crawl budget. By ruthlessly maintaining 0 broken links, you earn unshakable bot trust. You add accurate last modified dates for lightning-fast content discovery, and back that entire list up with an airtight internal linking structure. That right there is the exact formula for superior rapid indexation. So, as soon as this explainer ends, I want you to log into your backend, open up your sitemap, and ask yourself a hard question. Does this file truly represent the absolute best of my website, or is it just lazily listing everything? Secure your technical foundation today, because the difference between page 1 and page 10 isn't always better content. Usually it's just better crawlability.